Look, guys, there was some kind of altercation on the hill between Durian Rider and Sam, with Dexter standing there as a third man or a witness.
What's wrong, Harley? What's wrong? Did you just take my glasses off and throw me off the bike?
No,
did he? Oh, maybe he did. Why would I jump off the bike with Harley? I don't want anything to do with him. Huh? Oh, now he's on the camera. Now he's different.
Yeah.
Now he's different. The different Harley's out.
Durian Rider's girlfriend was there. I can't imagine how ashamed she must feel of her boyfriend. If there's one thing worse than having a tough guy for a boyfriend, it's having a fake tough guy. It's having someone who pretends to be a tough guy. It's having someone posturing it and faking it, but who doesn't back it up. Ooh, I would feel so ashamed if I were in her shoes. I don't know how she'll ever live this down. Just her whole relationship with him, man. This is a walk of shame that's going to last the rest of her life. Her being in this relationship and her playing that position. But in any case, Durian Rider tried to instigate a conflict of some kind. I don't even know what role the police reports play at this point, or if it matters whether or not this qualifies as assault by some technical or legal definition. I think that's all kind of irrelevant.
That's right.
He's just pulled me off the bike?
Sam's a little gutless wonder.
You got your phone?
He's a little gutless.
So why'd you throw me off the bike?
Talk to you, buddy.
So you're saying a lot now.
Let's put the cameras down and talk like men.
Done. Take yours
Why
down.
be a little pussy, Sam?
And what am I doing as a pussy?
Got your camera on, got your witness. How about
Hypocritical, the Harley the hypocrite.
How about me and you come over here?
Why? You want to fight me? That's why.
I want to chat, man.
I guess what I want to talk about here is the tough guy posturing itself. I've seen Durian Rider make comments on the internet referring to me as if I'm hiding from him. I've seen Durian Rider and his supporters refer to me as if I was the one who played the victim in this scenario. And the irony is, 1 year ago, I was the one guy who never hid, who never backed down. I said to Durian Rider straight up, okay, you wanna beat me up? See me when you see me. Let's meet. Do you want to meet at the police station? Do you want to meet at a coffee shop? Do you want to meet at karaoke? Do you want to meet in a boxing ring? I made myself available. And this wasn't just in the face of threats of personal violence, of Durian Rider directly beating me up, but he was repeatedly saying he would have a gang of people beat me up. And I said, okay, don't act like it's hard to find me. See me when you see me. Let's meet up. Let's make it up if this is what it has to be. I wanted to add in this comment. Everyone else in the game, everyone, they've changed so much in 1 year. And that's why it's striking that the one person who hasn't changed is Durian Rider. Durian Rider is making the same threats, engaging in the same behavior. When everyone else, I mean, even Freely, her whole life has changed, and her content on the internet has changed. My whole life has changed so much. New job, new girlfriend, new apartment, new home, new career, new outlook on life in so many ways. My life has changed, and it's changed for the better so much in this last year. I now speak a new language. 1 year ago, I couldn't really speak Chinese worth a damn. Now I speak it every day. My life has changed so much. Lauren Kenzie's life has changed so much. Freely's life has changed so much. Jason Pizzino's life has changed so much. Whether people closed down their YouTube careers, their channels disappeared, took on new directions. Dexter's channel has changed so much. All these people have been through a period of tremendous personal transformation, including a huge number of the people who were formerly Durian Rider supporters and now are not. The one person who hasn't changed at all is Durian Rider. And in a profound way, that remains really sad to see. Now, I also offered a lot of other more positive and conciliatory ways out of the conflict. I gave him a whole range of options, and he took none of them. Instead, what he wanted to do was continue trying to instigate violence against me while he played the victim, which is especially despicable. He tried to make it out that he was the victim of aggression, whereas, in fact, he was the instigator. And that's the same act we're seeing him do again now. But another pattern a lot of you might not have noticed was that 1 year ago, when he was trying to start the fight with me, and I just said, okay, let's do it. If that's what it's got to be, I mean, I'd rather take option A, B, or C, but if you're closing the door on those more positive, nonviolent options, okay, sometimes you got to take option D. If that's what it's got to be, see me when you see me. I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to run away. I'm not going to hide. And at the same time that he was instigating with me, he started instigating with Jake Eames. And Jake Eames appeared on this channel. He asked me to take the video down, so it's now down. But I remember I got a lot of fan mail asking me how big I am just because Jake Eames is a much smaller dude than me. And when he was sitting next to me recorded a video with the camera on, the two of us live, just two of us in the same room, not via Skype or anything, I looked enormous sitting next to Jake. The level of my shoulders and the width of my shoulders. This is partly just an optical illusion. When you put a big guy next to a smaller dude, he looks smaller and I look larger. And it's a trick of the light, whatever you want to say. Now, in reality, I'm not that big a guy. I'm about 1 inch taller than Durian Ryder, maybe an inch and a half. I'm about 1 year younger than Durian Ryder, maybe a year and a half. Durian Ryder has repeatedly referred to me as if I'm a giant. He refers to me as being much larger than he is, which I'm not. It actually probably would be a fair fight if he showed up. Durian Ryder claims to be a professional athlete, and he openly talks about his use of performance-enhancing drugs. This is not something I'm alleging. He has openly talked about his use of steroids. He claims to be a full-time health, weight loss, and fitness guru, whereas I have no claims of that kind whatsoever. I have a desk job. I teach at a university, and I am at the same time a university student, completing my second university degree. My first degree is in political science. Second one is in Asian studies. There's probably going to be a third university degree after that, sadly. It's how the academic treadmill goes. But I'm working on a very different set of credentials. And basically, in my spare time to keep in shape, I do some push-ups, I lift some weights, and I'm in okay shape compared to the average 38-year-old in my line of work. That's all I would say about myself. And, aside from that, I rep the vegan cause. Dexter got a really good line in when he was up on the mountain having this confrontation with Durian Ryder. Dexter said to Durian Ryder face to face, at this point, it isn't even about veganism anymore. And that is really worth dwelling on. Believe me, I'm the first person to preach against violence of any kind. I don't like the tough guy posturing. I don't like the phony radicalism. I don't like people like Gary Yourofsky, who openly endorse violent methods of protest, activism, and lobbying for social change. I don't like, vegan terrorist groups like the ALF, Animal Liberation Front. I disapprove of all of that. I have many, many videos talking about that. But what Dexter gets across Durian Ryder face to face quite succinctly and quite sincerely is just to say to him, hey, look, you're creating a violent conflict and altercation that's just about your personality, that's just about your ego, that's just about your little cult of followers. This isn't even about veganism anymore. And I think that really is worth dwelling on. Dexter, despite it being a very tense and difficult situation, I think he actually gave voice to a number of important issues in that video. This video showing them coming to the brink of a fist fight and then not really having a fist fight at all. If it's not about the future of the movement, if it's not about veganism, what are we fighting for? And if this festival or this event, if these organizations, if it's not for the animals, for ecology, for the future of veganism and movement, et cetera, what is it for? What are we fighting for? And on the other hand, what are we cooperating for? Or what are we failing to cooperate for? I mean, either this has got to be about the future of the movement or it is nothing worth. And I don't think anyone watching that video thinks for even a split second that Durian Ryder is having this confrontation for or about veganism. It's about him. And I wouldn't even say it's about his seeking fame. I don't think of Durian Ryder as someone who enjoys fame. I think of him as someone who is terrified of losing the little bit of fame that he's got. I think he's purely acting on fear, because once he does lose his fame all the way, once he hits rock bottom and he recognizes it, he's going to have to look back on the last 5 years of his life and realize that he squandered the one positive opportunity he ever had. He had the greatest opportunity in the world, and he squandered it. And he squandered it doing what? Creating conflicts like this. Conflicts not just with Sam and not just with me, but conflicts with Tana Mongeau, a whole long list of Instagram models. He created conflicts with all of his close personal friends. There was a time when Jason Pizzino was his close personal friend. And by the way, talking about that and this tough guy nonsense, I remember asking people like Pizzino, who used to really know Durian Ryder personally, really used to spend time. I said, if we actually had the boxing match, me and Durian Ryder, who do you think would win? And every time those guys, the guys who knew person, they just said, Eisel, it would be completely one-sided. Eisel, you would win one-handed. I don't know why they felt that way. I don't know if it's just overall size or bulk or what, but all those people said to me Durian Rider wouldn't stand a chance. And that is, at bottom, what explains this behavior. If you were to ask me, why is Durian Rider instigating a fight with Sam when he refused to meet up with me, when he refused to follow through with the threats he made against me, when I said, look, I'm not hiding. I'm right here. Where do you want to meet? See me when you see me. Why did he back down against me and instigate with Sam? For the same reasons that he backed down against me and then tried to instigate with Jake Eames. Durian Rider is a bully. Durian Rider is a coward. He only wants to punch people who are smaller than him. And I do think that Sam is a few inches smaller than Durian Rider. As far as I know, I'm really not that much bigger than Durian Rider. I'm definitely not that much younger than him. We're approximately the same height, approximately the same age. To all accounts, he's in way better physical condition than I am. But again, I don't want to glorify violence of any kind, whether it's recreational violence, person-on-person violence, violence within the movement. You can win a fight and still be in physical pain for weeks afterwards. You can be the guy who wins the fight and your face is swollen up and your teeth all feel like they're in the wrong place and you got horrible pain in your ribs. Fist fights are nasty, terrible things. In terms of human evolution, guys, we did not evolve this fist to hunt animals. The only purpose of the human fist, it's not to handle tools, it's not to make friends. The human fist was evolved for violence of one human being against another. That's its evolutionary purpose, its structural purpose, etc. We don't punch out a deer, you don't punch out a gazelle when you're evolving in North Africa. Human beings evolved the fist for violence within our own species, which is, of course, one of the defining traits of our species. And human life is fragile. A human being can die from one punch. It's a real scientific fact. A human being's life can be irrevocably changed by one punch. The way your face looks, the way your nose is shaped, can be changed forever by one punch. Boxing is a sport that leads to brain damage and an early death, even when it's done with all the best, professional safety features and what have you. I don't glorify this at all. But sure, Durian Rider raises the question again and again of who is going to stand up to him, who is going to stand up to his lies, who is going to stand up to his bad advice within the movement, and who's going to back down and slink away and play his game by his rules. And I was one of the guys who stood up and said, hey, if this is what it has to be, I would rather have options A, B, or C. I'd rather do something positive and nonviolent and cooperative. I'd rather talk it out or do something positive for the future of the vegan movement. But if it's got to be option D, if you're closing the door to everything else, if this is where you're going to take it, if this is the only thing you can respect, if this is the only way we can move forward, okay, let's square dance. See me where you see me. And Durian Rider was not just dishonest. He was not just an intellectual coward. He was not just a moral coward. He was a physical coward. He backed down and he ran away. And at the same time was trying to start fistfights with guys like Jake Eames that were smaller than him, because he only wanted to start fights that he could win. And that, Durian, really is despicable.
À-bas-le-ciel.